Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing out there? How are you guys doing? Uh, yeah, I was in Orange chat earlier, said hello, and what a mess, man. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about all that. But it is what it is, right? There's not a dull moment in on YouTube, right? And so, oh, my dear friend AJ, man, uh, and Clutch is here too. My dear friend Clutch. There's four people in here, probably two trolls, right? That would make sense. Let me put up my little banner here. Do 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 do. I love this, man. I like the little, because I could say stuff, and it's always there. It's always running through there. What's going on, Cold Springs? Oh man. AJM saved the day. No, not Evangelist Michael. He's not a troll. He's here. Oh man. Just what a beautiful day, man. Well, okay, so something kind of concerned me from yesterday, which is Pig. I don't know if you guys know Pig Slapper, or you've seen him in here, right? Well, he said that he was blocked here yesterday evening, but he's not. But I looked and he's not blocked, and so I don't know, because I wanted to talk to him about what do you call it? The stuff about Paul. I mean, we have to have a perfect word of God. We have to. Like, if I'm just saying. I'm saying this in the best way that I can. Is that, and not that I wouldn't hear like an argument against it, right? Anybody's allowed to feel how they want to feel, right? I'm not ever going to take God away from somebody, and it doesn't mean that they can't come here and listen or whatever and talk or whatever. But but I think that, oh, there he is. There he is. You're not blocked. You're not blocked. You're right here. Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Cool. I'm glad that yeah, no, your comments. Oh, yeah, yeah, no, your comments are showing up. I see them. I don't know if everyone else could see them. Yeah, some weird stuff going on for sure. Cause I got some other blocked individuals that are blocked. I'm still working on it, but yeah, 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 yeah. It's crazy stuff, man. Well, so like I'm totally okay with people feeling how they want to feel, right? About certain things or people or whatever, or even having like their own opinion about like what books they like in the Bible, right? Like books that they'd rather read than other books, right? But to me, right? And I can't see, and I've tried to see if I could see it any other way for myself, right? Is if the word of God isn't perfect, right? Then I mean it would be useless to us, right? Like if any part of it was corrupt, any part of it, then how would you trust any of it? It's I always have to lean on the fact that it's perfect. Hey Karen, oh my God, this is such a good day. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for stopping in to say hi. Hey Raven, how you doing? Wow, man, everyone's pouring in. Oh yeah, yeah. I love. Well, I love Matthew. Of course, I love the book of Matthew, but I love them all. Really, it's hard to say which ones I don't like. You know, if I had to really, if I had to really say which one I like least, I don't know. I don't think there's anyone that I like least. I like for the Old Testament. I like Ezra because I relate to him. You know, like the types of questions he was asking God, right, are the questions I would ask. You know, like what about all the people that aren't gonna make it? Like, wouldn't they just be better off not being made at all? You know, questions like that. You know, that are difficult. You know, and so like I agree. I wouldn't say I would say that I relate to that more than any of the other biblical characters. You know, people in history. Isaiah is very good too, right? I like Isaiah. I like Jeremiah. Well, Ezekiel, I like Ezekiel, but that he got a little weird there, man. With that bread that he was making, right? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's horrible. He was getting ready for the times to not be so good, and he made his bread over burning excrement, which is just unbelievably horrific. So don't say the Bible doesn't have everything. It has everything in it. It has everything in it that you could think of. The to favorite one story out of the Bible is saying the other stories are not equal. Yeah, but I know, but like I like as far as Paul's letters, I like the Corinthians and the Thessalonians more, I think. And of course, Psalms and Proverbs, right? I mean, those really stick out, right? It's Old Testament books, right? Psalm 118, verse 7, the Lord is on my side as my helper. I shall look in triumph on those who hate me. You better believe it. You better believe it. Holler later been trying to figure out what happened. Oh yeah, hey, um if you want to come on tomorrow afternoon, I'd love to have you on. Is that cool? I'd like to have you on the show if you would like. And I want to make sure that you know what day and everything, because I got I'm gonna work Jake and Stephanie in next week too. I got so many great people that are willing to help, that are like, you know, able to have good energy and personality on a show, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. You know that? Like, oh, that's cool. Hey, okay, Raven. All right, we can figure that out too then. Right on, man. I know you probably said that before and I forgot probably. Hey, how you doing, Sheila? Afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Yeah, in the UK it's different. But I know that I heard a lot of the stuff, like the mandates and stuff, are being lifted, right? Oh, that's funny that, oh yeah, Cold Springs. When you sent me that picture of the food, I thought of Sheila immediately with the shepherd's pie. You sent me, yeah, and then I thought they eat that over there, but then I thought of you. I don't know why I didn't think of AJ. I just didn't. Even before the Father manifested into the flesh. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, I like I like Corinthians and I like Thessalonians, man. They really are fired up. The Thessalonians, man. They were just for books that are, take you about 20 minutes to read First and Second Thessalonians. Uh, it could um it could really pump you up, man. Sometimes I listen to those as if they're sermons, sermons being, you know, um, spoken. You know what I mean? 8:23 a.m. where you are. Well, it's an hour behind, so you must be somewhere in the central or something or mountain time. Central or mountain time or something. How was this? Oh yeah, she was like the shepherd's pie, but it was like a pocket, like some kind of pocket thing with. Oh, she did it different. She did it different than I've ever seen it. Where? I didn't see her. Did she come in here? I didn't see Daniela. Oh, okay, okay, your wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm glad. That makes me happy. Yeah, they were bigger than the plate. Oh, see, look at AJM. He's talking about lamb. I don't know what cottage. What's lamb cottage? Oh, like boiled lamb shake. Is that what you're talking about? You have to go out and get the boiled lamb shake. Yeah, it was a pocket of shepherd's pie. I don't know how she did it, but when you look at it, you're like, wow, man, like it was bigger than the plate. It was like a hot pocket, but it was like 10 times the size of a hot pocket and way better looking. It was shepherd's pie, but it was in a pocket. I can't explain it, AJ. I can't explain it any more better than that because it's like so if you cut it open and put it in a bowl, it would be shepherd's pie, I guess. I guess you gotta make it portable or something. Yeah, see, it's got all this stuff in it. Oh, but it's wrapped in dough. There's extra dough. That's the thing that's extra. But everything is in there. You could probably they're probably travel easy. Like if you make a couple or a few of them or something like that, you could probably throw them in like some foil or in a Ziploc or something like that, and just take them out to a picnic or something like that. Oh, see, now you're talking about the gravy. That's what you do. You bring a thermos full of gravy. Yeah, doesn't that sound good? That sounds like a good picnic. That sounds like a good picnic. Yeah, I think it's great. I think everything is great right now. Well, it's Sunday. Okay, so yesterday, right? This is what's crazy is I don't watch football anymore. I haven't watched a football game in like I don't know 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer than that. I think I stopped watching football before I started watching TV. I'm not sure though. And so but I do follow the scores, so that I have something to talk to my family about. And hey, how's the game? How the local team or whatever, small talk, right? But uh, yesterday, the team, my team, well, it used to be the 49ers, and I guess you could say still is, right? Because I don't have another one, but they won yesterday, and it was I can't believe it, man. Like they weren't supposed to really win, not even the last one either. So I'm gonna have to. They're probably gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna have to deal with this, man. I'm gonna have to deal with my phone being like, because I already get messages all day long, right? It's nonstop. Not that I don't like that. I love it. I love it. I love the attention. Trust me, and I love being able to help people and all that stuff, right? And I love that we all have personal relationships with each other. I think that's great, right? But when the game is going on, it's extra more text messages. I mean, so many. And sometimes my phone gets like, it'll start getting hot. I don't know how to change that. I can't have it on vibrate anymore because it does crazy stuff to my phone. What's a Cornish? So are we talking about like chickens? Fool's ball. Oh my God, you guys. Cottage pastries. Pastries. Oh my God. You guys are so funny. You used to watch football religious. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is, man. It is. The obviously it's not what we thought it was, right? It's now look what they've done through the whole season with the restrictions and the illness, right? And I'm sure that had affected all the games in the season, right? And so they know what they're doing, right? I mean, not all of that is real, right? When they have people sitting out, I mean, a lot of it is to make it look more real, right? That's why like almost every celebrity has gotten this thing, right? But like if you had to think about how many of your friends got it, you know, I mean, you sure if you get sick and you go to the hospital, they diagnose you with it. But it's just so crazy, man. It's so crazy how they do it. And then they're so insidious, right? With the the whole idea of the mask, right, is psychologically, right? If people are wearing masks, it makes it real in your mind that it's happening. Like if you didn't see the masks every day, right, and everyone was just walking around out there, you would forget about it every once in a while and go, man, you know what? I don't even know if this is, you would question it, right? But because you always see somebody out there wearing a mask, or it makes it more real. Yeah, people in the crowd wearing the masks. Well, so I had a friend yesterday ask me if I'd been jabbed, and I said no. And he asked me if I wanted to go to a Kings game, right? A basketball game. Now, I'd like to see him, that's for sure, right? So I said yes, right? And so he said, you have to be jabbed or you got to be tested 2 days before the game, right? Well, I don't know what's going on with these tests. I know that I was tested at the VA and everything was fine, but sometimes I'm scared if there's something on the end of those things. Like I'm kind of afraid of that. I mean, not afraid in that sense, but afraid that they're gonna, some kind of thing is gonna infect me or whatever. Would you guys trust that? I just want to know if a consensus here, if you guys would trust getting tested before going to like a football game or a basketball game. I know, right? People wear masks on video chat. That's so crazy, man. Well, they were having kids do it, right? They had to wear it even when they were being homeschooled. And that's not right, man. Not homeschooled, but schooled when they were at home by the public or whatever. And that's not right. Because it's not functional in any way, right? Like even if there was something going on, that's not a functional thing to do. If it was real, they wouldn't do that, you know? Well, see, that's the thing. I don't watch this stuff. I'm just saying, like, would you get tested? Okay, so you don't trust it either, Sheila? Me neither, man. I really am weary of those. And they did. Oh, it hurt so bad when I was tested at the VA. I mean, they really shove it up far, and then they move it around. You know, it does hurt, and they're like, okay, well, I'll tell you when it's over, and it lasts like 30 seconds, man. I mean, it's a long time. Maybe not 30 seconds, but a long time. You know, yeah, and you don't know what's on the end of that thing, huh? See, now you guys got me thinking, because I was already kind of thinking that way anyway, that that would be the best way for them to do it. Yeah, and then they'll claim that it's, yeah, that's right. And to be honest, right, I could hang out and do something else with this dude. We could just go out to eat or something, and maybe the game will be playing or something like that on the, whatever. And I wouldn't be a Kings fan anyway. My team would be the Warriors. That's when I grew up. The Warriors were my team. We weren't very good then, and then when I stopped watching TV, then they got really good. Go figure, right? No, I'm not gonna get no way. Why? Why would you say that? No, that's not good. Don't get it. That would break my heart because I don't know what I don't like. Here's the thing. There's a lot of things to study and a lot of nefarious things that it could be, right? And I'm not saying that I know everything, but I know that it's not good. I know that you know what I mean? When I say it, I could be referring to anything. I just know that it's nefarious either way. Whether, yeah, oh, sarcasm. Okay, good. I know she's, yeah, no, I know she's not an idiot. I know that. But a lot of us are faced with like, here's the thing, right? When someone asks me if I want it, I just say no, and it's only me, right? Some people got kids and all that stuff, right? And we don't know, like, I mean, when you're watching your children go hungry, right? That would be a tough decision, you know? And so, yeah, that test was never meant for that. I know it. Well, and I mean, just Koch postulates would tell you that they can't isolate the virus in order to show cause, right? So if you can't isolate your independent variable, then you can't prove that it causes an effect. Meaning, meaning like if you can't separate the virus from any, and isolate it by itself, you can't show that it causes anything. Yeah, I think. See, Cold Springs. I think the mark will probably be some kind of ID identification. Like I think it'll go like you have to have a card in order to go places. Then it'll be something like you know people are counterfeiting cards and it needs to be stopped or something like that. So now we're just going to put it on your body so that it can't be counterfeited, and then boom, next thing you know, you got the beast thing, Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. His servant. Yep, absolutely. And so I didn't know the test was part of that. It just makes you so weary of this kind of stuff, right? It's just so amazing, like the times that we're in, and just how many times in the Bible it says don't be deceived, right? Like you can think about anything else, right? And it says don't be deceived a lot of times in there. And so it makes you want to test everything. I mean, I'm willing to test any old theory that someone has to let's run it through the Bible, And I think we're taught when we're younger that it's the opposite, right? To be closed off to everything so that you don't get deceived. But the reality is that we're supposed to test everything. And so this world is inverted, because if you have the truth, right? And you scrutinize it, it'll always be there. And if you have a sincere heart and you're honestly seeking God, then we'll be shown the truth, Yeah, absolutely. No, I didn't get the shot, his servant. But those tests, man. I mean, I can't imagine those tests, man. I think they might put something on the end of those things. I don't know. It makes me think, I don't know, man. Maybe they wouldn't, maybe they would. I don't know. It says they wouldn't need, if the test was accurate. Okay, wait. When I was in the hospital, they wanted to test me several times to be sure. So I told them they wouldn't need to test if they wouldn't need to if the test was accurate. They didn't like me much after that. Oh wow. Several times. Oh my God. But wouldn't you know if you were sick? I mean, that's the whole thing, right? If you're sick, you would say, okay, I feel sick, test me. But if you're not sick, right? Isn't that a good test? Like, isn't that like the most accurate test is if you don't feel sick? Because I mean, if I eat the wrong thing, sometimes I'll feel sick, even if I'm not sick. So I'll feel symptoms if something's not right. And then when they were saying, yeah, of course, absolutely, his servant, absolutely. Just if you read Koch postulates, and if you read Event 201, then you know from the very outset that it's, and plus for them to get every country to go along with it with no dissenting opinions and have all the distribution and logistics set up to put it all together, it would have taken 10 years to set that up, and to say that they just, fired it up and in a year and a half, everybody was in agreement, no dissenting opinions, and everything was agreed on and shipped within a year and a half. A year? No way, man. Hey, Bubba, how you doing? Right on, right on. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'm trying to stay warm in California. I could probably go outside with shorts on. It's not hot, but it's not super cold. I won't die if I won't go out in shorts, that's for sure. And I know that there's some weather out there that if you go outside, you could definitely could die from it. The book of James chapter 2 verse 13, for judgment is without mercy to one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. That's right. Hey, that's a good verse right there and a good teaching moment, right? How we treat each other, right? And how much compassion we show each other and how much mercy we show to one another does affect our judgment. It does. And trust me, whatever our judgment is towards other people will be measured back to us. It will. And that's something that It can't be avoided, you know. And I think that we talked about it when Shannon was up talking the other day, that you know that we need to love each other through this, and you know, understand that we're all going to have a little different opinion about things, because we grew up in a world, you know, a mind control world, where we were just basically, you know, lied to and overstimulated since we were born. And it's just crazy, right? We're all sick to a degree, right? That we're trying to unwrap this stuff. And yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's the key, right? And so that verse, right, in James reminds me of, if I'm merciful and forgiving of other people, then that's how it's going to be measured back to me, you know. And so yeah, and here's the thing, right? Not I'm not saying to I'm not saying to widen the road. The road is narrow to salvation, very narrow. But we have to be understanding of everyone else with how they got to where they are, you know. And we all learn things from different places, and we're all just trying to get our minds wrapped around what's real. And you know, a little compassion is good. Thanks for sharing that, Evangelist Michael. I think we needed to see that. And I could always be reminded of that. The book of James, like, is, I mean, I'll tell you what, if you haven't read the book of James yet, anybody, I know we probably all have, but if you haven't, just go to audio. If you, I mean, if at the very least, go to Audio Bible, and just listen to it. It takes 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And that's right. For all the nations were deceived by pharmakia. A lot of that stuff is coming true now. A lot of that stuff is coming true. It's happening in real time. Especially like when I used to read in Revelation about going to jail for 10 days, right? I was like, well, man, that seems like a very short amount of time. Like it always confused me, like why they would put me in jail for 10 days, and why it would be specific like that. Or like I kept thinking, well, maybe the days are years, or they're symbolic for some other time period. But doesn't that sound like you know, what do you call it? Well, you know, like quarantine or something like that. Like, oh, I'll put them in quarantine for 10 days, and if they won't take this mark or whatever, then I don't know. You know, there's a lot to work out there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Evangelist Michael. That, I mean, that's what I was thinking, and man, it totally makes sense, right? And it blows your mind, right? To like, because I never would have put that stuff together, say, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. I just was like, okay, that's interesting, you know. But then when you start reading it in this time period, then you're like, wow, man, my mind is blown, man. The Bible knew these things way back before it ever could be predicted. Oh, I like what Bubba said about that, about the chip. He goes, I may be early to this, but I'm an anti-chipper too. I thought that was funny. He says he's an anti-chipper. I would agree. I'm an anti-microchip guy myself, you know. I mean, when you see those little tiny, I don't know what they are, but they're just micrometers big. They're very small, right? Those little robots or whatever they are. Now, I don't know if that's real or not, but if it is, man, it's spooky, isn't it? And I would say this, whether that's real or not, there is definitely something nefarious, right? Something that's, you know, going to affect our DNA or our makeup or something about us, right? It's going to change something. Yeah, little nanobots. And see, I don't deny it, right? I don't deny that I think there is something to that. Now, the them being so small puzzles me, because I know that you know, for them to see certain things, they use electron microscopes, right? Like, if they could see something that small, how would they work on it? How would that work? Unless technology is different than we were told, you know? And yeah, I've seen a couple of good ones. Bubba did a good one about it too. See, now I think it could be something biological, and I think it could be something, you know, some kind of foreign substance. I don't know, but very interesting. Very interesting. I can only speak on it as how it relates to me, right? Not telling anybody what to do or what to think. These are just thoughts in my head. But yeah, I'm on the side of thinking all that is probably right. All that technology, right? Because I had a friend, right? He used to like really. He was a real paranoid type of guy, right? And he was in Vietnam, you know, so he's had a lot of stress and all that struggle in his life, and so, you know, we always just thought he was just kind of out there, you know. But he would always be talking about these nanobots coming to get him, you know, that he was being attacked by these nanobots, and we used to think he was, you know, he was nuts, right? And now with all this stuff coming out, it's like, oh man, this maybe he was ahead of his time, you know, seeing this kind of stuff. Or maybe he was nuts, right? I mean, you know, I mean, I always think of all that. What happened? A video about punching somebody. 20 what? Half the video got canned by year 28 minutes after it. What happened? I posted about she had to restrain that. When was this? What happened? Oh, he posted a link. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it's just it's so sad. The world we live in is just unbelievable. You're right, and sometimes there's just no yeah, sometimes there's no way to describe how people are in this world, you know. I think that there are people in this world that don't feel for other people, you know. It's like it's not part of them, you know. You know how, like, when you're in a conversation with somebody and you feel for your own feelings, but then you feel for their feelings too. Like, I think there's a large part of the population that doesn't have feelings for others, you know. They feel their part, but they don't get what's wrong with you, you know. And I don't know if that's, you know, right or wrong, good or bad or whatever. They probably have other gifts or something. But I'm starting to realize that not everybody is like us inside, right? Not everybody has a lot of empathy. Hey, Apocalyptic Lake Fury, how you doing? Good to see you. You had a good video the other day. Yeah, we need to stop this zombie thing that's going on. We need to stop it. It's just too crazy. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I just think there's just a whole lot of people that just don't feel for other people. Or else it wouldn't go on, or else this couldn't happen, right? Like, and so I was even thinking, right? Like, let's say we win the world back, right? And we get rid of all the, you know, elite people or whatever, and we all start perfect, and and just in a loving way. How long before it gets like this again, you know? And I just pray for the Lord to come back and just fix it for good, you know, fix it forever. Oh, I'm doing good. I mean, we all got things to deal with, and trust me, I got my share of stuff, but I mean, all things considering, I'm doing pretty great. Thanks for asking me. Yeah, we're overcomers. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things happening to us that it isn't our fault, and we can all feel hurt by that if we want, but I think we were built to overcome these things. And it just seems like there's so much stuff that's happening, and I just have so much love for everybody, that I don't want anybody to hurt anymore. I can't wait till the Lord comes back and all that pain stops, you know? Yeah, Clutch. I mean, that's it, right? Because how long does it take before the people that, you know, we start out with again, before they start getting greedy and want to own everything? Signs in the sky. Yes, absolutely. And that's what the sky is, right? Signs and seasons. And we're going to start seeing some funny stuff, man. Some good stuff, some amazing stuff, some warnings. We're going to see some stuff, and we're going to hear sounds. And I think that, because I don't remember ever, because you know how there's those sun halos or whatever that are like coming off the dome that create the sun dogs or whatever. And so I I don't remember ever seeing those back in the day, anybody showing what those things are. And now we're seeing them all the time, all over the place. And I think that there's a lot going on, especially in our skies. Oh yeah, get that bot. Matthew 9:13. But go ye and learn what that meaneth. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. That's right. You know, like if 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 you're not sick, you don't need a doctor, right? And so there's going to be people that are in line, and you know, of course, we love each other, but really, we got to reach out for that next sheep, right? Because the Lord's going to rejoice for that new sheep, you know, more than the 99 that are in line, right? And I want to make God happy like that, you know? I want a new sheep to come here and want to hang out, and for God to produce a new believer right in front of our eyes. And that's what the gospel's for, is to help sinners come to repentance. And I posted something, you know, I posted a different version of it, and I posted the King James, so that it really hits home with what it's really saying. Is the reason Jesus spoke in parables, right? Is because if they got it, they would repent, you know. And so they don't know what they're passing up, right? They got to seek God honestly and really want to understand and see the truth, because it's hidden under a little, you know, tiny layer, right, that they got to get through. And it's not meant for someone that's not going to be sincere, you know. And so I put a lot of stuff like that on my message board. And I put a lot of stuff about, like, you know, if you say that you're not a sinner, then there's no truth in you, right? I mean, we have to admit what we are, right? And at this point in the world, right, to be self-righteous, you know, and say that, oh, I never sin or this or that, that's no good, man. Because then how are we going to get helped out of here? I mean, the reason that we're going to go to the kingdom of heaven is because of God's grace, right? Because of his sacrifice, because of Jesus, right? That's it. And it's all his glory, right? I mean, he deserves our like praise and worship for that, you know. And I can't wait for us to be up there cheering for him, you know. And you know, it just gives me chills every time I think about it, you know, because he took the punishment that I deserve. And so you know, there's no bigger love than that when you're willing to give your life for somebody. I remember when my oldest son was born, and I finally understood what love was. I mean, I you know, at the time I would say I loved my wife, you know, and I loved my mom, of course, right? But when I saw my baby, right, and I knew that I would die for him in 1 second without even thinking about it. Um, and I'd probably die for my mom, and I probably would have died for my wife, but it was more of a I couldn't. I'll never be able to recreate that feeling of. I learned a lot about love. God taught me a lot about love in one day, you know, and um, you know, to think I never thought that I'd be able to love God more than that, because that was so much love, right? But now it's like I do love God more than that by far, and it's I don't know where all that love came from, right? And there's just I think God provides the love for you when you're ready, right? Oh, I'm so glad that you came here, his servant. I know that I invited you personally. A lot of people are handpicked like that. Or they've been invited, you know, because if I see someone that makes a comment somewhere that resonates with how I think, you know, I'll invite them over here. And so this is kind of a special group here. It's either someone's been referred by a friend or you know, it's very personal, I think. And so yeah, it's a good warm place to be. Yeah, no, I agree. Um, Shannon, I know what you mean. Alrighty, guys. Well, guess what time it is? It's time to hit the old dusty trail. And so I'll say this: praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace, and all glory to God. He deserves it. And pray for the children, please. And um, you know, I'll see you guys tonight at 5 p.m. Have an awesome day, of course. Thank you for saying that. God bless you guys.